Okay, hey everybody, this is Robert, and I'm just going to do a quick tutorial on how I built some of the textures that I used in the CSS3 textured button blog post article. So I've already loaded up Photoshop, and the first thing I'm going to do is just your standard grain texture. I started off with a new document, and I did it as a 50 by 50 pixel canvas with a white background, and uh, just go ahead and click OK and get this dragged out. Okay, so you've got just a very simple small canvas, and set the default black and white foreground and background colors, and go up to filter, noise, and add noise. Now I set it about 7% with Gaussian distribution. Gaussian? I have absolutely no idea what the proper way of pronouncing that is. And monochromatic. Once that's done, you click OK. Alright, so we've got the noise, but of course it now is a white with gray speckles image. So any background color that you set won't work. The white will completely override it. So I selected everything with Control A on a PC or Command A on the Mac, and then Control C or Command C to copy that whole texture. And then I switched over into the quick mode. You can either hit Q or you can just press this little icon in the toolbar, and then pasted with Control V or Command V. And it's very subtle, but you'll kind of see where the gray is. It's now a bit of a pinkish color. Switch back out of the quick mode, and then in your layer palettes, of course I forgot to do this, double click the layer that's the background to turn it into a floating layer instead of a fixed one, because now we're going to go ahead and turn that selection into a mask. And currently you'll see that it hasn't really done anything. But if you select the mask and go Image, Adjustments, Invert, now you'll see that the thing is almost completely transparent. And that's good, that's what we want. Because, and I'll do this real quick, if you create a new layer, and we'll make it a blue color, and select your paint bucket and fill that, and we'll drop that layer underneath. You can see now that you've got a very faint texture sitting on top of the background color, and that's exactly what we want. But it's also still well, it's usable. So if you get rid of the blue, or if you didn't do that at all, that's good. We'll just go up to File, Save As, and I'm just going to save this to the desktop as grain.psd and save it. Now the reason I'm doing this is Photoshop is really good for doing image manipulation. That's what I generally work out of, but it isn't very good at saving things for the web. Even if you go, File, Save for Web and Devices, the quality of image that comes out of that compared to Fireworks is just it's night and day. So I really don't recommend even wasting your time trying things out with the Photoshop Save for Web feature. As soon as we get Fireworks loaded up, which I should have done that ahead of time, we will open up the PSD in Fireworks someday. Maybe. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we will file open, and we will open this grain PSD. And you pretty well leave everything just the way it is. And now, if you go File, Image Preview, you'll get your texture. Change it to a Ping 8 file type with alpha transparency, and we want no matte color. So, what it'll end up being is, relatively speaking, a very small file size. Like, it's not even a full K. It'll have the, we'll call it delicate transparencies that were saved in the Photoshop file, and it doesn't make Internet Explorer 6 choke, which is huge. So we'll just go to Export, and once again on the desktop, this time it'll save it as a ping, and that's the end of it.